Okay, so morning's out again. Keep an eye out for enemies. Just because you slept through the night doesn't mean some didn't appear. The last thing you want is a creeper to drop off in your house on you. It's not pleasant. And when you're at this stage of the game, losing your house or the majority of your crops, it's not fun. It just gets frustrating. It's better just to keep an eye out, just play it safe at the beginning. Make sure you don't put yourself in any silly situations. And you see, still not doing particularly well on our crops, but they'll still grow. Before you realise it, it's done, and you're like, ooh, got so much crop, I don't know what to do. You probably stop using it after a little while. Once you find better food sources, once you get a proper farm with chickens and so forth, everything just gets so much easier. Right, let's extend it. See if I can get a decent size out of what I made. I think I've overstretched slightly. Okay, so if I put a gate down, let's put it over here. So I'm going to want to be able to get in pretty quickly. Okay, so I'll gate that in. How many more do I need? I need at least 1, 2, 3 bits. It's a single craft. Always one short, eh? Okay, let's just make one more. Ooh. Did that a bit backwards, didn't I? Okay. There we go. Now, like I say, the first thing you need to worry about with the farm is water and light. So if I light it, I generally miss 2 and then plunk one down, and that gives good spacing. Ooh, missed that completely. Got to hit it on the top, otherwise it's going to hit on the floor. Now, do that, and then another one there, and another one there, and I'm out. Good times. Okay, so what you want to do is avoid having single blocks that things can climb onto or out of. There you go, and nothing can get in or out. And what I will do, just make it slightly more efficient because I'm out of coal at the moment. I'll just move this around so that this side has got some light. Because we're going to have a little bit of light from that one there. It's going to cover a few blocks, so you just need to make sure that you cover the rest. There we go. And the usefulness of this is it also surrounds your house with a little bit of light as well, which will prevent too many spawns inside your areas. Now I'm going to make a cobblestone pick. Now the reason for this, cobblestone's pretty common. Oh, no, it's not. We don't want to say cobblestone pick, because with this I can break iron. And with iron, I can make a bucket, as well as shears. And I will tell you what that's for in a second. But since we are doing farming, I will show you that, first of all, from what I was saying earlier about things jumping on your soil, observe, you see I've got a seeded soil there. That's broken, and that's standard dirt. And obviously I don't recommend doing that if you're trying to survive, but you need to till that again and replant, and that was only on level 1 anyway, so it's not a big deal. But spiders tend to jump over fences, and what you'll find is that the spiders will jump over the fence and land on your wheat, and you'll come in there and there'll be a couple of broken blocks. Just be aware that can happen. It's something that you can try and avoid. It's not so easy. Now, if I break some of this sand, as I'm sure I saw something down here earlier, and I was right. This block is iron. Now, like I say, you might have a different texture back to me, but that's iron. Now, I want to keep my head above the water. Like I say, it takes forever to mine underwater otherwise. So I'm gonna stay up here. Ooh, it's getting a bit drastic now. The flow of the water can be very difficult to fight against. There we go. Another one broke. And there we go. Right, how much more iron have we got? There's another one there. It's so tricky to stay above the water and really keep efficient. Here we go. Let's try and get up here. Should be able to reach it just fine. Here we go. So even breaking sand under the water is very difficult. Okay, let's just break this underwater. Pop my head up for some air. Back down again. Make sure your air bubbles don't run out. It's above your food. And it shows how much oxygen you have under the water. If you think it's going to run out, then get out of the water because you lose health quite quickly. So I'll demonstrate here. Yeah, see it ticks quite quickly. So you think, oh, I'm going to have plenty of time, don't worry. And then before you realise it, your health's gone and you're dead. And then collecting stuff underwater is quite difficult. So running back to get your stuff is going to be really painful. Okay, so now that I've found some iron, and you may not find iron that quickly. It can be a few blocks underground, and chances are that's where you're going to find most of your iron. But if you're lucky enough to find something like that, then you want to come back to your house and you need to smelt the iron. So a single bit of coal should smelt about 4 pieces of iron, I believe. So we'll get that done. Looks like it's going to do a few more. I think it's 7 actually. It may produce 7, which is useful. I mean, you should try and be efficient with your coal, but if you've got no choice, or if you only want to do 3 things, then just do 3 things. Coal is not going to be a rare source for you later on once you start mining. So there you go. Yeah, you see it's probably about 7, I think. Now, with this iron, you can start making iron tools, but I would recommend that you first make a bucket. Now, you'll see that change then. These are shears. Now, you only need 2 bits of iron for shears, but shears are really, really useful because they allow you to extract wool from sheep without killing the sheep. And later on, when you've got a little sheep farm, or if you've got a limited amount of sheep nearby, that's a really useful thing because you don't want to be killing them all. You don't want to have to travel because getting sheep back to your farm is actually quite hard over long distances. They sometimes lose interest and it just gets difficult. I will show you at a later date how to collect animals. There's an easy way and a hard way. Just depends on whether you can find resources for the easy way and create leads. In this case though, we're not going to stop with shears. We've already got a bed, and we're not absolutely desperate for wool at this time. We're more desperate for a farm, and a bucket's going to help a lot with that. So it's just 3 simple bucket shape iron blocks. And you can carry a few buckets on you if you want to transport more water. Now, as I said before, water will saturate the ground 2 blocks in either direction, but not diagonally. Only 1 block in diagonal. So if I were to place this here, for instance, it would saturate in both directions perfectly, and only 1 block that way, but it will only saturate up to there. This block won't be saturated. Now you can go nuts with water, and you just do a line straight down here, and that'd be fine. And you'd saturate all the way up to this point, and all the way back to there, and you'll be producing really good lines all the way down there. And then you can then produce like another line of soil like here. Sorry, water, not soil. Another line of water here, and you'll be saturating in both directions again. And that's pretty efficient. But then if you count up how much water you're going to be using, or how many blocks you're going to be using for your water alone, it adds up pretty quickly, and you end up with less crops than you'd like, especially at this stage. Later on, you'd probably be happy to have such an efficient farm. But then you can also count up and say, if it's producing so quickly, because there's so much saturation in the ground and so much light as long as you produce with the torches, then perhaps it's going to produce more wheat in the long run. So it is up to you. I mean, there's an absolute fantastic pattern, but you know, it's up to you. You can just do one there, and you know that's going to cover all the corner and a couple of blocks that way, but not that one there. And then you can do one over here, knowing that you're going to get that block there, and then one over here, and you're bound to get like 1 or 2 blocks in your farm that isn't completely saturated, and it's going to start frustrating you if that's the case. Personally, I'm going to go with the ditch that goes all the way through. I've got a bucket, I don't need to worry about running long distances, so it's going to be pretty quick to produce, and when it comes to it, it's going to be pretty efficient. But at the moment, I'm going to get in before things start spawning. Just reduce the amount of danger that I'm going to put myself in during the day. And sleep for another night. And we'll start day 5. Okay, so on day 5. Now, again, keep an eye out. I haven't yet seen a single monster, which is good. It just means that our sleep patterns are keeping them at bay, and nothing spawning nearby. That's kind of ideal at this part of the game. I mean, if you want a bit of risk, then feel free to go nuts and let everything spawn overnight. Just stay in your house and then come out, get a bit of fighting going. No, it's fun. There's no reason why you wouldn't do that. Now what I'm thinking is that trench there is fully saturating that area, that's great. And it's fully saturating up to this line. Now I don't think I really need those 2 blocks there, because that block is going to saturate those 2 and that one there, and this is kind of an entry point anyway. So I think I'm going to fill those and be a bit more efficient with it, because I think this is a pretty good setup for a farm at the moment. I mean, I'll be able to run straight in, and you know, getting over here to these crops, I should be able to do it from here. Once I've broken the crops, I can jump over. I'm not going to be too worried about breaking a crop at that point, because it'll be broken anyway. So I think that's good. We need the seed from the crop down below, and I don't think that's grown yet, so I might have to break some more grass. This isn't growing particularly well at all, but then that's because of the light. This one here is, and that is age 7. So this will be our first successful piece of crop. Now, if you want to be efficient with this, you don't want to have to keep using your hoe up and breaking your tools. Then just left click to break your wheat, and then straight away right click to just place a new seed in. And it doesn't have time to turn back into grass. And you get some seed out of it. And there you go, that's our first piece of wheat. Now, like I say, a single piece of wheat isn't that useful unless you're just feeding animals. But it looks pretty good down here. 3 bits of wheat will produce a bit of bread. And you know, it's cheap, not particularly great food, but it's going to be good. So that's an age 5 piece of wheat. I mean, it doesn't look ready anyway. Just wanted to show you that that's a quick way of checking. Still has quite a bit cold down there. Let's see about this one. That looks like an age 6. That's still 5. No good. Let's just walk across. 6. Yeah. Okay, so we've only got 1 piece of wheat that's actually matured, which isn't ideal. I mean, it's best to keep every piece of wheat growing that you can at the beginning, because even a single piece of wheat can save your life if you've got 2 bits sitting in your box. But then, ideally, we're going to need more than 5 to do this. I mean, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20. Okay, I need like 30 pieces, so I suppose we'll have to get breaking. It's not ideal. It takes time. You don't get an awful lot of seed considering how much grass is out here. But it's alright. It's alright. You don't really have to do this once at the beginning. After this, you know, when you go back and farm your wheat, what you'll actually find is that you'll get a lot of seed from your wheat, as well as the actual wheat itself. So you only ever need to break grass at the beginning. After that, it's just maybe if you're setting up a second build or something, you forget to bring some seed with you. How many have you got? 18. See, it's alright. It doesn't take too long. Ah, broke a plant. We want to keep your build pretty. Put your plants back in. You broke me wheat then. It'd be disastrous. Not gonna produce any extra growth. Look, this long grass is getting out of hand. I have to get trimming. going to be able to see my farm otherwise. Okay, I'm not getting any seed now, typically. Come on, give me some seed. 22. Okay, I think it's time now. I need to get this grass planted, get the wheat planted, and get some water going. Okay, so back on the hoe. You can try and be efficient and sort of hoe long bits of ground, but every bit of hoed ground has a chance to turn straight back to dirt. So, you know, if you leave it too long, it becomes inefficient, the tools break, and you really should just use the hoed ground as quickly as possible. So, just flick between them. Oh, you see, there goes my hoe. And that one's turned back already. It knew my hoe had broken, and it decided to turn back. It's just being mean. That's the stat of all of it. I'm just... You know what? I'm breaking you. You're a mean piece of dirt. I'm going to replace you with another piece of dirt that's not mean. There we go. That was probably my friend. That was just mean. So, see, I'm just clicking wildly now. I'm upset about the grass. Now, what can we do? Let's just make another hoe. I mean, you can make hoes with cobblestone. I'll show you. Every tool can be made with cobblestone, and then later on it can be made of iron, and you can go up to gold, although not even, and other materials. So you don't need to stick with wood if you don't want to. If a wood hoe breaks far too often for you, then you just go straight to cobblestone. That's fine. There's no reason to hold on to these materials. You absolutely don't want to. Cobblestone, wood, it's so common. Just use it. So easy to get. Oh, you see, I'm running out of seed. But that's all right. I think that's the start of a good farm going on. So let's get some water. Now you can produce your own water source if you have something like this around. Maybe a bit close to home. I'm happy with the distance. I'm not lazy. That's a pretty good distance to go and get some water. Now a body of water 2 blocks by 2 blocks and 2 blocks deep will sustain itself even if you pull water out. So if I take a bit of, I did not want to jump in, but there you go. If you take a bit of water from a large pool, at least 2 by 2 by 2 blocks, it will fill itself in, as you'll see when I do this. There we go. See? And it just flows straight back in. Now you can dig a hole of that size, 2 by 2 by 2, and then fill it with water, and you've got yourself a perfect reservoir for watering anything you need to water. But you know, like I say, I'm not particularly bothered about the distance. That's pretty good. I'm going to keep putting water in until it's completely full. I'm going to get a little bit of sprint on because I think I'm alright for food. Yeah, I'm going to put another one there. See, that's alright. That's good. That's a good start. Now, yeah, like I say, that's not too far. I'm alright with that. I'm not lazy. I'm good. You can skip blocks. You don't have to put water in every single block. It fills itself out pretty good. And you know, this is going to be a really efficient farm. You'll see that already we're going to get some growth, and the water saturation is getting there already. That's nice. I'll just fill up that last one, and then we'll go and check our wheat again. Yes, see, this is good. I like it. You can see the water saturation. This is going to be a good crop. I can feed it. Now let's go back. Like I say, we'll check on our wheat, and you notice all this running. I'm actually eating into my food bar quite a bit, so I'm going to top that up. And now I'm into the point where I'm thinking, okay, I am going more food left, and I'm not yet fully producing my own wheat, so this is going to get a bit flaky if I don't start doing something about it. Now let me just double check that one. That's a 7. Put the seed straight back in so you don't lose it. That's a 7. Boom. It's a 6. It's going to be ready soon. There's a 7 over here. That is fully grown. And now we've got 3 bits of wheat. So we can actually produce our own bread from this point. A piece of bread is not a super efficient food, so you know, it's feel your achievement. It's all good, you know, producing your own food, but don't get cocky. Don't keep running everywhere. And I've lost a piece of wheat because I haven't. No, I ran out of seed. I need to get some more seed again. But let me just show you. If you get 3 bits of wheat and you just put it in a nice little line like that and pull it out, you get yourself a nice bit of bread. Bread's good. We'll keep the cook mutton for emergencies. Now, you might be looking at my inventory and thinking, well, this is everything he owns in the world, and you know, he's carrying his bucket around with him. That's not a good idea, is it? And 2 doors. Well, that's just dangerous. What if he gets killed? What if he like drowns or something? Well, it's probably a good idea then that I make myself a box to put things in. You know, this is something I probably should have done a little earlier, but quite frankly, I haven't got the space, have I? And we got night time coming as well, so let me see. I've never done this before. I'll put it there. Now I can't open it. You see? That's not good. I've not got the space. So this is why when you produce your house, you should probably think ahead a little. I'm going to sleep on it. Then when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to have a look at making my house bigger. Good morning. So let's have a quick look. I think I'm still safe, and I'm going to have a look at my wheat, which is growing, well, it looks like quite a bit quicker than the stuff down by the shore. You know, this, like these 2 here, you notice it wasn't by the water because it was too high. I didn't give it any artificial light. Same as well, that one down there is edging a little bit ahead because of the water in the soil. But these 2, they're just not doing very well at all. They're really struggling there, and when you look down here, these 2 were saturated. And they're not doing particularly well either. I mean, the artificial light thing is really important. It's just as important as the water. So, you know, I think that's a good demonstration to show good ample water and good lighting. You got yourself some really good soil. It's going to grow your crops really quickly. See, you can see it sprouting up already. I'm going to endeavour to get some more seed thrown in there as quickly as possible. But I'm going to have to extend my house. As we saw before sleeping, I just got no room to put a box, and it needs to be able to open. It's got to have a block empty above it as well, so I'm going to push my house out this way slightly. So here we go. I might need to extend my fence a little. We'll see if I push it out just a few blocks. Make sure I've got the wood in a second. So I want a bit of expansion space, you know. Shouldn't have broken that one. Just want to be able to put some things down, you know, a couple of boxes maybe, an armor stand, something like that. Now, you know, if you're short on wood, you don't want to be going out harvesting all the time. Don't fill in these bits that you don't need to fill in. You know, nothing's gonna squeeze through the gap in the corner. That's just not going to happen. So, you know, you give yourself the space, but don't waste your materials if you don't have to. You see, I got myself a box now, so I can put all this stuff in there. I'm not going to carry around with me. There's no need to carry coal, you know, or sticks even really. But I'm going to come back for the crafting tables, so there's no need for that stuff. Just carry a few blocks. No, I don't need sand right now. Actually, I do. Let me show you how to make glass in a second. But everything else is pretty good. And I'll make some more torches. So, oh, that was silly. Okay, so I'll just make 4 more torches. That's all I need right now. I'll put another one in my farm. Now, if I chuck single bit coal, 5 bits of sand, that should do all that sand. Now, what you can do with sand, you can make glass. And then when you've got glass, you can see what's going on outside. I'll just take the single piece. Now, I want to be able to see out the window. So I'm going to place it here. And that will give me a good idea of what the time is outside. I don't have to open the door and get shot by a skeleton. Good? That's good. I like that. Now, I'll just chuck that back in there. Still need it. You see, we've got a bit of wood out the wall as well, so that's good. Now, I'm going to finish off my farm, and I think I'll call it a day. Because I think we know how to do a farm now. This is good. This is our own food source. We're happy with it. This will keep us alive, I think. Anyone seen Bozo? I think he's come for a wonder. Right. I got 9. 9 should be good. I don't think I missed that many blocks. I've still got my stone hoe on me. Yeah, I can walk across that gap as well, so I'm not worried about having to jump in the water to get across. Good thing is about saturated soil is it doesn't turn back to dirt. So as you saw me just placing another one in there, I hoed that a long time ago, so you don't have to worry so much about it turning back to dirt straight away, as long as it's water source and saturation hits it in time. So there we go. You get yourself a nice little farm. It's efficient, and we like efficiency. Like one there, because I think that'll help. Sit back and wait. Okay. And I think that will do it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was an informative video. You can produce your own farms. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Click like and subscribe if you want to see any more of my videos. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much.